Hi friends, welcome to Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Strings of Fate Season 3, Episode 13, Loose Ends. Thank you for whatever this is. It's a resub at very normal, not at all loud volume. Grimdark James. Spoon also resubbing, trying to snipe, failing immediately. That must be embarrassing, Spoon. I'm joined, of course, by Grimdark James, Henley, Pondo the Mad, and Eric Vulgaris tonight. Just way to get that one on record. I have a show with Eric tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to drop that one a second time.
Yeah. Well, hey, I've been streaming today. I did some crosswords and then some slice and dice and super auto pass.
Hey man,
it was great. Ireland's fantastic.
Twitch.tv
bought my first car. Yeah, bought my first car a little while ago. Like, oh man,
what can I say? It's been a little while since we've been together, guys. New year, old me. Nothing has changed at all. I haven't learned any new lessons or taken any new steps for personal growth.
What are your New Year's resolutions? Come on now.
I resolve to not have resolutions. Now, I've done a lot of streams, all right? I've done a lot of streams. And I have to say that out of the people here, I'm gonna bet that Henley is literally about to explode into an intro. So I'm gonna arrange for Pondo and Spoon to go before him, because Henley's gonna need like an hour and a half easily.
Okay. Why do you assume that?
Because when we have a 40-minute intro, 30 minutes is you.
30 minutes is me responding to other people's cool stories, man. That's what that's about.
Exactly. Pondo, speaking of cool stories, what have you been up to, buddy? How you been?
I've been doing all right. Haven't been to much. Over like the time we were off, I got MRSA. So that was, yeah. Though I didn't get as bad of experience as what I've always been hearing. Luckily, I got to it pretty early. So
I have no idea what MRSA is. I'm sorry.
It's a hospital infection. It's a super bug that forms inside hospitals where sick people keep getting sicker. And then a new person comes in and they get a really, really bad.
Is it like golden staph or something?
It's like an infection.
Yeah, it's a resistant version of I think is it the Staphylococcus virus?
I don't remember what it was.
But yeah, it's a drug resistant version of it. Yeah, basically.
I was fortunate that it didn't resist the drugs I was taking. So yeah. Yeah, no, it's suddenly like one day, like I had a spot that felt like, okay, that's like a zit under my skin. Then the next day it was like a big old scab. I was like, oh, that's not good.
Okay, so golden staph is what we would call MRSA. Okay, no, right. Okay, so same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was dealing with that. Luckily, I didn't get the worst effects of it. That was pretty okay. The only thing it felt like it burned on occasion, which probably wasn't good, but.
My brother got golden staph living in Dubai, living in a US Marine compound there as a construction engineer, when a pigeon died inside the air conditioning vent.
Oof.
It's also how you can get legionnaires. This ain't good either.
Yeah, no, did through that. Then everybody in this house got sick, not COVID, thankfully. Hadn't really done much because then it kind of had the snow apocalypse the last couple weeks. In like negative. It was negative single digits. Probably a wind chill of like -10, something like that at peak. But yeah, it's Nebraska.
How much snow did you guys get?
Not like a whole lot, but the thing is, it snowed 1 point, probably about 3-4 inches. There was like a couple of days where the sun was out and melted some of it, not a whole lot. Yeah. Then it snowed again, another like 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah.
Not like a whole lot, but
Yeah, classic Midwestern winter.
Yeah. It's really all interesting to me because I would have some good snows, but not like this. This is different.
Yeah.
The below zero weather is definitely new to me. It's funny enough, the first time I moved down here, got hit with a negative 22-degree wind chill. That was something. No, other than that, I hadn't really done much. I've been fiddling with the 3D printer. That's about it. And I hadn't played a whole lot of games. Got Disney Plus. Got that.
Sick.
Have not caught up on anything that I've been wanting to catch up on. Instead, I watched the new reboot of DuckTales, which is actually pretty good. Yeah.
Is that finally live action?
DuckTales?
Wow.
No.
Wow. Dave outs himself as a furry 2022.
No, I just want the Ninja Turtles version of DuckTales to happen.
The cursed suits that you can see the actors inside of. Yeah.
Yeah, I want that. I want that. Like, give me, what was that duck in
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck? Yeah, give me like a Howard the Duck version of DuckTales. Like,
Just like you
There we
can just see the eyes behind his teeth.
next Marvel movie, right?
Yeah, the most I've accomplished was watching a couple episodes of Mandalorian. That's about as far as I've gotten so far.
Or Boba Fett.
Huh?
Is that
I've not.
any good?
Mandalorian.
He's not ready for it. He hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't finished Mandalorian
I
yet.
had to,
Okay.
Yeah. It's
But-
for some reason I'm at that stage where I have the kid there. I don't want to watch The Mandalorian, but I have the kid there.
Mhm.
I don't want to see.
They're not going to remember.
DuckTales. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know this, but some reason in my head I feel guilty. I'm like, all right, you see that guy's incinerating those guys over there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
No,
illegal.
No disintegrations, Pondo. No disintegrations.
There was a lot of disintegrations in
No
Mandalorian.
disintegrations.
I thought for a second you worried about giving them spoilers, not showing them like horrific death.
What you should really be worried about is if they think Episode 2 is their favorite Star Wars. That's how you know you failed as a parent.
Hey man, those movies are actually good now. That's the thing. Like
1
those
and
movies,
3 are good. I'll go with you on that. 2 is not.
I would
one
rather
was
have them
two? I forget.
2 is the
Attack
one
of the
with the
Clones.
really shitty romance where they roll around in the grass on Naboo.
Is that the one where he says I hate sand?
Yes.
Is that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's one with the meme of the like, I'm going to do this thing. And then for this reason, right? And then says nothing.
for this reason,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Concerned face. I think I'd rather have them like or have their episode 2 as their favorite than either episode 8 or 9.
7 was okay, I guess.
I
don't
mean,
know.
listen, if a kid is understanding the complex political discourse in Episode 8 about arms dealing and makes that their favorite episode, I think you're okay. They just like the romance plot, then yeah, you're fucked. My God, I can't believe what they. No,
Yeah. I was
I
saying,
can't
if
go
we
in on
get-
John Boyega. They messed him up, but I don't want to get into the technical details. I'll
Yeah.
Henley this intro real bad.
Yeah, we'll be like, all right, and it's 11:30, and we're just now getting to the start of the game, and we'll see you next
we
time.
just
Wow,
wait.
I got flashbacks of a time of Total Warfare.
Look,
2-hour
you
intros.
can't call it Henleying when the moment we mention Wheel of Time, you fucking diverge into another timeline. You know,
It's all right. I still haven't watched the Wheel of Time show.
It's good.
Y'all,
Good.
listen. Y'all called me out. You thought I wasn't a Wheel of Time fan, but I was forged by Wheel of Time. When the wheel
Okay.
turns, I'm the spokes, bitch. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, the show is good. You should watch it. I mean,
My
I think it's
God, what a fucking lie! It's canceled, isn't it? They literally, one of the actors
I know.
just walked off the set. It's just
Yeah,
like,
one-
yo,
one-
peace
yeah.
out, bitch.
I think you're thinking of Witcher, man.
No,
Like,
I'm thinking of Wheel of Time. Didn't they? First off, Matt walked off the set, and there's no second season, right?
No, there is a second season.
All right.
I'm pretty sure the second season's already been confirmed.
My God, I don't know where we're at then.
But there will be a new actor.
For Matt, yeah,
for
we're gonna
Matt,
Spartacus it once more. We're bringing it back. Look, that's my favorite. That's the first time I'd ever seen an actor replaced like that was Spartacus season 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's because the guy died.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the opening of season 2 is literally like this huge barbarian fight out in the
Oh my
open,
God.
and there's this dude. The camera keeps focusing on, and I'm like, yeah, whoever this guy is, Spartacus is about to fuck him up. Like this is the opening boss. This is the wharf that Spartacus kills, and then he gets back to camp, and I'm like, hey, isn't this a slave camp? And they're like, hey, Spartacus, what ho, brother? And I'm like, that's Spartacus.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because the last thing the actor for Spartacus did was a YouTube video with Freddie Wong.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's random.
It was,
Yeah,
well,
and it was like a Time Crisis ripoff thing.
Oh, I was gonna
where they,
say
like,
probably
shoot the guns
Corridor
with, like-
Digital, right?
No,
Is it-
that was before Corridor Digital did their shit
Wow.
or whatever. So
I know they were doing it at the same time, but they're just Freddie Wong and Corridor different entities. But yeah, no, it was pretty much
they're the same group of people as far as I'm concerned, right?
Pretty
Like,
much.
They collaborate with each other way too much for them to be separated. But yeah, like I remember watching that and being like, oh man, cool. Spartacus season 2 will be good. And then like literally like 3 weeks later, it was like, yep, died to cancer. And I'm just like, huh. And I remember that exact feeling, Arthur, when I watched the intro to season 2. I was just like,
Couldn't watch it.
who is this dude? Who is this person? And it's like, yeah, no, it ruined the show for me, to be honest with you. Like,
All right, Spoon. I'm the one diverting us now, so I'm bringing us back to you. How's your, holiday time been?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I just got back from visiting my family in Texas. My parents are, they've got a fifth wheel trailer and they travel around the U.S. now that they're retired. So flew down to just outside of Galveston to visit them and celebrate Christmas and the New Year's and all the holiday stuff. So that was a lot of fun. Went to Johnson Space Center while we were there. That was pretty dope. Got to see a bunch of cool space stuff, including they've restored the mission control room from the 1960s when Apollo landed on the moon. So they've got all that, and you can like take a tour of that building and stuff, and you could go up and sit in the original, the restored seats in the VIP room as they do like a little presentation and stuff, and it was pretty cool. Toured the astronaut training facility where they have mock-ups of like all the International Space Station stuff, the new Orion capsule, one of the possible new moon landers called Blue Moon. And you like go through like a walkway up above it and you can look down on the floor and see people working and stuff. And while we were there, there was an astronaut actually there training on one of the rigs for 1/6 gravity. So that was really neat to see. So I had a good time. Just got back last night, so it was good. It was good. Now I got to catch up on all my shows and stuff because I didn't watch it while I was down there. But
You haven't started Boba Fett?
I watched the first episode of Boba Fett.
Okay.
The dances with Tusken
Oh,
Raiders
yeah,
episode.
we talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed when I loaded up Disney Plus yesterday that the synopsis for episode 2 says Boba Fett faces new challenges in the deserts of Tatooine. And I thought that could be like the episode something for every episode.
Oh man. So
I just looked it up, Arthur. Wheel of Time has already been. They already got approval for season 3. So
oh wow.
of the show. Yeah. And
You're still not going to get me to watch it. You know that, right? Could be
I don't
8
care if
seasons and a movie.
yeah, sure. Don't watch it.
And
I
they'll
don't
be
give a
only
shit.
through half the series.
But the actor, you're right about like the Matt guy leaving.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I had no idea about that. But still, it's like, I don't know. I mean, they've got like, I heard that they're really using Wheel of Time as a way to sort of like prepare like their development or marketing or whatever for the Lord of the Rings stuff when they eventually do it. Like, because they
And
hadn't
it's
done
going to
like a
suck.
fantasy.
It's going to be terrible because their marketing on Wheel of Time has not been good.
I don't know what you mean. I live in Poland, so I don't see any of like the marketing shit that you guys probably do.
Is there's a guy who rides on a horse. His name is Lan Mandragoran. He is the man who rides alone, who is a nation. I didn't see a single scene of him killing hundreds of people single-handedly with this sword over and over again. Not this is what I'm looking for, man. This is the best part of the whole series is people hyping him for 12 fucking books. And yeah, like he gets to some duels and he wins, but I was like, but is he really that good? And then at some point it's just like, yes, he's literally the greatest swords master in the history of history. We're just gonna let him go ape shit.
Yeah.
So I thought you said you hadn't watched it.
He's talking about the books.
I'm talking about the books.
But yeah,
okay.
There were no trailers of Lan just going absolutely sick on everybody. Just being
No
like,
idea
all
what
right,
you're talking about.
I slashed my sword once. 3 people are bisected and fall over. They're even bisected in different directions, so it doesn't make sense. That's how good I am. I'm fucking anime good. That's all I'm looking for out of Lan. He needs to just be overhyped to hell, and then he needs to pay it out.
The YouTube video of the guy watching the sword masters, and they're like, and he's like, "Oh my god, did you see that?" It's like, "No, what are you talking about?" They're just standing there.
No, they're moving faster than the speed of light and returning to their original positions. He does good work.
God. Yeah.
All right. You got anything else, Spoon?
That's pretty much it. Read some more books. I started and finished the Grim Noir Chronicles by like Larry Correa. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but they're pretty good. They're like a pulp fiction alternative history after World War I if humans had magic. It's kind of a...
Is it Grim Noir or Grim Noir?
Grim Noir.
Okay.
So like combination of noir and grimoire.
Okay, no worries. I get it. Okay, no worries.
Yeah. But they're pretty good. They're kind of just an interesting series that one of my buddies lent me. So started reading The Black Company, which I'd never read before. I don't know how I made it this far into like playing RPGs.
How did you ever talk to Eric Fulgaris?
Yeah, I know, right? Company? Yeah, I'm being a mod for MCDM and having not read The Black Company. Like that's what the actual play.
So don't feel bad.
No, it's pretty good. I finished the first book on my trip, and I'm looking forward to reading the next couple. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right. Just one more thing on Wheel of Time. Canonically, the name of the continent most of Wheel of Time takes place on is called Randland. Yeah.
That can't be true.
It is true. Just Google Wheel of Time Randland. It's real. Jordan never named...
Oh my God.
Yeah. Jordan never named it, so the fans named it after his death. It's Randland now, bitch. Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
All right, cool. We're just gonna have to burn the whole thing down now.
Oh, so I see you understand how the wheel turns. All right, Henley, let's go.
Just as I put something in my mouth. Cool.
Perfect.
I don't know. I mean, I am an expectant father who is... what is it now? 9 days waiting for a child to drop.
Fun time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're just there with your car keys, getting ready to pounce at any moment.
Yep. But the biggest problem here is that a mixture of COVID and Poland bullshit, I would say. So here's the thing. My wife has high blood pressure, right? So she has a thing from a slip from the doctor that says, hey, look, if the baby isn't out by the 14th, you have to, go and be observed in a hospital until such time as that the baby is born. Cool, makes sense. But over here, that means at this time of life, she cannot have any visitors. So hypothetically, she can be in the hospital for 2 weeks. Now, I bet you're thinking, hospital stay for 2 weeks, not so bad. Hospital is pretty comfy. No, because Poland is garbage and their hospitals are garbage as well. So I want you to imagine giving birth and, you know, all the necessities that a woman needs to have in the hospital is generally given to her as a way to treat her after birth, right? In Poland, you have to bring that shit yourself. So any sort of pad healing items or whatever that you'd have, any sort of like gowns to be in the hospital with, or, you know, items to use in the shower, anything like that, right? You have to bring yourself. Like, they don't supply you with absolutely fucking anything. So we've had to basically, like, the hospital's kind enough to give you like a, here's what you need to bring to the hospital list. So we've got this ginormous suitcase filled with all of these medical products that we need to bring with us to the hospital because the hospital won't do it. So not only can I not be in there with her, I can't visit her. And let's say hypothetically that she needs to have a C-section or something like that because of complications. I can, if it's a C-section, I can see the baby for 10 minutes and then I have to leave. If it's a normal birth, then I can go in there for 2 hours after the baby's born. And then I have to leave. And then I get to see them 3 days later. So one of our, like, you know, couple friends had a baby before we got pregnant, and he was like left outside the hospital for 4 days, 5 days, something like that, like after they'd given birth. Real fucking nightmare situation, to be completely honest with you. So that's why we're wanting to make sure this baby comes out before the 14th, because otherwise it's just like no man's land, and I won't have any information about what's happening during the birth. So it's, I don't know, it's a weird situation to be in. So that's what I'm dealing with, the realities of that. So we're doing a lot of things to try and force like the labor to come on. Like, we're walking up, we're climbing, like, because we live on the 7th floor of our building. So instead of taking the elevator, we're literally walking up 7 flights of stairs. And if you've ever done that with a 9-month pregnant woman before, it's like,
I mean, it's a challenge just to walk across the street.
Yeah. So far nothing though. So, you know, I don't know. It's a weird time. It's a really weird time. Plus, I'm also juggling investors. Trying to deal with a bunch of shit that's happening in the company. You know, regular stuff. And now I have to deal with all this extra shit. So it's a very interesting time. But I won't bore you with the details. But yeah. I don't know. Also, have you seen what's his what was the guy from The Mummy? What was his name?
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan
Have you
Fraser.
seen how Brendan Fraser looks these days?
He's coming back, bro.
Yeah.
But have you seen how he looks right now?
Yeah.
Really? You know what he looks like right now?
Yes. He's in everything now.
Not
He's
right this
enormous.
second, but
He's an enormous, just absolutely chunky.
He's like at the start of Doom Patrol when he plays like a fat.
No, he's way bigger than he was in Doom Patrol. Like, he's twice the size that he was in Doom Patrol. That's what surprised me, because I was like, oh yeah, you know, he's just becoming like an old actor or something like that. It's like, no.
No, I think he's doing it for a movie. I think it was like something where it's about some 600-pound guy or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, but he's fucking huge now. It is insane. Like, he's not the type of actor that can bounce back from weight like that if he's putting it on for a role. Because that's insane. He is enormous. But yeah, I don't know. That's strange. Anyway, that surprised me today when I saw that. I was like, oh my god, he's a big lad. Anyway, that's me. Let's play a game.
Well,
I'm ready.
you know, James, why don't you do it? I know Henley's trying to deny you one, but let's do your intro.
I'm not denying. He always goes last because he's the GM. So,
Look, I'm going to take up the time that Henley didn't take up as well, because you know I like a lot of my play.
He only went like 5 minutes. It was surprising.
Well, so in stark contrast to Pondo's experience, I'm having the exact opposite weather here, where we're in the middle of Leteinia. So it's like high 30s Celsius, so like high
that is
80s
the
low,
most
low.
Australian town name outside of Woolla Woolla that I've ever heard, by the way. So
What? Leteinia?
Yeah.
It's not a town name.
It's
That's
Spanish.
the weather.
It means little girl.
It's the companion to El Nino, which is an American weather system.
Yeah, so it's like in Fahrenheit terms, like high 80s, low 90s, but it's like we're getting like 3 or 4 inches of rain every day. Like right now, it's like a comfortable like low 70s, but it's like 87% humidity. So it's just grey and overcast and raining and there's localized flooding, but it's also hot and sticky.
The wet season, where it's the hottest time of the year, as opposed to the dry season, when it's the coldest time of the year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, James, it sounds like there's a song that perfectly describes the situation you're in. And all I have to ask you is, do you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain? It's the perfect weather for that situation. Just where your wife cheats on you and you cheat on her with each other. Just technically what that song is about.
We had this beautiful run of warm weather after Christmas, warm weather and not rain. And my plan was to take down my Christmas lights on the 5th of January, which of course is the 12th day of Christmas. And the 4th day of January was beautiful and sunny. And I got up on the 5th day and it was just pouring rain outside. So I was trudging around in the mud, pulling my lights down. Less exciting than I would have hoped for. I wish I'd broken tradition and just done it a day early. Other than that, from my vacation, like I tried to do some model painting. I finished off my Space Wolves. So if you guys haven't been checking out the Crusade videos on YouTube, I've got some updates there. That being said, I gave myself a goal of painting 17 specific miniatures during my vacation, and I managed to paint 3, and those 3 were not any of those 17 either. So the 17 I'd set aside are all
classic
done, but I was struck with inspiration on something else, or I was challenged by somebody else, so I got 3 others done. But finally, you know, with lockdowns ending here, I was able to get some more 40K, and although I played 5 games in the last 4 weeks, and I've lost 4. So, and the one I did win was against one of my own children. So it's not been a great run as far as that goes. Managed to get back to the cinemas and watch Matrix Resurrections, which was like really average. Like I'd give it a 5 out of 10. And I'm probably biased because I've got, you know, background having worked on the Matrix films as well. That was I guess disappointing for it to be so average. I think the film, I want to say it was self-aware, but it was too self-aware. I like that. I don't know if you see those videos, the pitch meeting videos on YouTube, where it's got the guy that does like the pitch meeting for a film. He like captures Matrix Resurrections perfectly. Also saw Spider-Man Far From Home. And
that one was good. I like that was
good.
Yeah.
Look, I said to Arthur, out of all the recent Spider-Man films, I think it was the weakest, but it was still a good movie. You know, I enjoyed Homecoming and Far From Home more than No Way Home.
It's like it's the movie for wet dreams, right? You know, like it's the fan service movie. You know, it's the ones that.
So I'll agree, it's a fan service movie. I don't know about the other part of that line, but what I will say is I took my kids to see it, and they have got no context for the older Spider-Man films and the older Spider-Man villains, and the film was too much fan service. Like there wasn't enough movie in there for them who didn't know the rest to get excited about. You know, it was just a very long movie for them. Basically, my daughter was saying, "Can we go home now?" 2/3 of the way through.
That's super strange because considering it's like breaking records in the box office, you know, like the second biggest opening of all time or something like that.
I think it was
Something like
bigger
that.
than Endgame, actually.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like the second in the entire world, like during COVID.
I
And all
think
that
it
stuff.
hit
It's
a
like,
billion its second weekend, is what I remember seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me say this about the MCU.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ask your question, Dave.
I mean, or I guess James as well. I mean, or everyone. Have you guys seen the new Kingsman movie yet?
No,
It hasn't come out here yet. Actually, it's one of those weird ones where Australia's getting it quite late.
I haven't even
Okay.
seen 2 yet. So
I haven't seen any of them yet.
I mean, the
wanna say
first two
this.
Kingsmans are real good. A real good time.
The only thing I know is that the second one has country roads, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's baffling me why
Everybody
a British
does country roads now,
Like-
man.
like-
Japanese VTubers do country roads. All right.
I like the fact that apparently Grigory Rasputin is one of the villains in the new Kingsman movie, and there's a
Dude.
trailer for the film which is set to Bonnie M's Rasputin, which is a great trailer. So
I
it's
will
making me want to
say
see the film more.
the Kingsman movies always get their music like spot on.
So
Agreed.
I will say this about the Kingsman movie. Like, if you've watched the Kingsman movie, you know the vibe that they have, right? This new movie doesn't have that vibe.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's weird because it's like a prequel to all of them, right? So it's like
It is, yeah.
like for
It's
the-
set in the First World War.
yeah. So the vibe is like completely different. So I was going into that movie being like, "Fuck yeah, Kingsman movie is gonna just be like you know,
It's like the Saints Row of James Bond movies.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah."
that's what it
pretty
seems
close.
like. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
That's pretty dang close. But then this one tries to be more like, you know how the original Saints Row was like an actual Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that. Like,
Okay, let me say this. Even as the MCU continues to gain incredible, untold amounts of money, DC is still like, you know what? Turns out you guys didn't like this iteration of Batman. We're going to make a 9th Batman now. Guess what? His parents are killed at a fucking theater, and his bad guys are the Joker, the Riddler, Bane. We're just gonna do it all again. The Penguin
Listen.
shows up. It's the same 6 people over and over again. Like,
Listen,
we do not innovate.
Batman is
Fucking tired of it.
DC's
Jesus, get new
Spider-Man, dude.
material.
like
I just appreciate that they didn't like steroid up fucking the dude to make him like
I don't
beefy
care.
boy, you know?
I
agree.
know
I
how the
think-
Batman origin story goes. I don't need it for the millionth time. Spider-Man ducked it, man. They were like, oh, how did you end up this way? Well, my Uncle Ben died. Let's just go past it.
After like 6 fucking movies, they were finally like, I guess.
No,
I guess
I mean
we
the
don't need
new
to do it.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I
The
know, I
new Spider-Man, they
know.
shucked it. All right, listen, the MCU didn't exist for all those other fucking Spider-Man movies. And besides, there's only
Yeah, it
one
did.
other new Spider-Man. Like, there's the original Spider-Man movie. 2 and 3 never happened, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, they didn't happen. They don't exist. There's just Spider-Man and new Spider-Man. That's it.
Have you seen they're doing an Into the Spider-Verse 2 though now as well?
I'm here for it. I like
Yeah.
Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's good. And it literally picks up right where the first one left off. Like
Well,
same
we'll
scene.
see. Look,
Yeah.
everything you just said about Kingsman applies to Spider-Verse. They're gonna have to fucking nail the soundtrack. It's gonna have to
Yeah.
be Chef's Kiss. All right,
Well,
because
'cause the
that's how
first one was so
Spider-Verse was. Yeah.
Like,
No,
oh
no.
my god.
Here's the OST for Spider-Verse 2. Post Malone and then someone
Yeah,
else
okay,
do
easy
another
mode.
do another one. And then they take all the TikTok songs that have been popular over the past 2 years
Oh my
and they put
God.
it in there. That's what it's going to be, man.
No,
Come on, you know
please
it's
no.
going to be that.
No, I mean, look, Post Malone is not a bad guess. I mean,
I mean, what's going to be the next Hello Danger song? Like, what's that one
I
going
don't
to be?
know.
Like, I don't know how you top that.
It's What's Up Danger, I think.
What's Up Danger? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you think they bring in new Spider-Man though, or do they bring in the old like?
I think they've
multiverse
already
Spider-Man?
revealed that they'll be bringing in new Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they're bringing 2099 into this one, definitely.
I mean, as long as they bring Spider-Man Noir, I'm good.
Nah, they won't. They won't.
Nick Cage
Yeah,
as the voice actor. Yeah.
He really
He was
didn't do
the
much, but it
weakest. He
brilliant.
was the weakest one.
You don't
out
think
of
the
all
pig
of them.
was the weakest one? Really?
I'd
Or the
absolutely
anime
not.
Robot
girl
girl
whose
was the
special
weakest
power
one.
was the fucking robot that had more character than her? You think that
Nah.
Spider Noir was? Oh no!
Yeah, absolutely. He was the weakest one for sure.
It was
But,
amazing. They were like,
we're
"What
gonna
is
agree
this?
to disagree on this one.
Black? No, it's red. Okay, what's this one? Black? No."
And then what they need to bring in, the Spider-Man that is also a Sorcerer Supreme, whatever the fuck it was. Like, bring that one in. That'd be good.
I don't know. We'll see. I trust them to make a second movie after seeing the first one. Although, admittedly, there have been a number of sequels to both movies and video games that have been awful. I'm looking at you, Devil May Cry 2. You just fucking gave up. You were in it for the money, and that's it.
I am really excited about the new Star Wars the last Star Wars game. What was it called?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Fallen
Yes. They're making apparently the sequel is going to be announced pretty soon. So
Yeah.
I see that Mobius has been mentioned in chat too. So I've heard a rumor that the other day that apparently Andrew Garfield has a cameo in Mobius.
Oh,
Is
really?
Is Mobius the one about vampires?
Yeah.
Listen, they nailed the trailer music. It's not going to be good.
Spider-Verse, though.
You guys realize that Mobius is not going to be good, right? Like, it's literally about a dude who's like, "Ooh, I'm literally a vampire. I gotta drink blood. I can't, but I must. I can't, but I must." Like, oh my god, it's gonna be bad. Just prepare yourself for it to be fucking awful.
You realize you're mocking the entire late 90s, early 2000s there.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's fine. That's right,
Look,
Gargoyles. I took a shot at you too.
as long
Gargoyles
as there's
is
a scene,
Mobius if you took Star Trek: The Next Generation and mixed them together.
here's what they need to do to make the movie epic, right? So in the movie Mobius, there's a scene where they break Blade's actor out of prison, and then he becomes Blade in the movie. I'd be into that. Let's make that happen.
Are we doing a new Blade? Like Wesley Snipes
Yeah,
is
we-
probably
yeah,
not
yeah,
going to.
yeah,
We are
So
doing
who
a
is
new
it? It's
Blade.
what's his name? Ali.
Mahershala. Yeah.
Mahershala Ali. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's already been in the Marvel universe in Luke Cage, but they're bringing him in now to be the new Blade. So.
I mean, Luke Cage was all right.
Yeah.
My
But,
sorry. It's really tough because the TV series all got wrapped up in Iron Fist, and that was just
It
terrible.
got wrapped up in the Defenders, which was
Iron
which
Fist.
had
It was just
Iron
Iron
Fist
Fist
in
showing
it,
up, being
yeah,
like,
which was
"Hey
not
guys, I'm a legitimate member of this group."
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm totally believable.
Daredevil coming back is pretty fucking sick.
We'll
I
see.
will say that much.
We'll see. The
There's no
actors
we'll
are great.
see.
Will the story be great? That's tough.
No, he could just come in and be like a supporting actor for all I fucking care. As long as Daredevil's in there, though.
What do you mean the
He's
story
like-
will be great? What do you think a TV series was? Do you think it was bad?
No, I'm worried about it being adapted well because it's not going to be the same director and it's not going to be the same team working on it. It's been a
Okay.
fucking
Yes.
decade. Marvel has already shown that when it comes to TV series, they will carpet bomb you with shit. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like, we're going to do a tie-in for Civil War where all the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are like split and some of them are secretly Hydra and they're all being interrogated. And then everything that happens in the movie happens in the series. And Joss Whedon is sitting there like, ha, 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 fools. Ah, fools. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon. That guy who is dead, but then you brought him back to life, he's still dead in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't canon, you fucking idiot. Like, he literally
Agents of
took a
S.H.I.E.L.D. could
dump on
reference-
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for like years.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could reference MCU, but MCU couldn't reference
Right.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was the same as well with the Netflix series because they mentioned like the New York incident in the first series of Daredevil. They right after the Avengers, but they try otherwise they try to keep it separate.
That's a
So,
weird. It's a weird.
If they
thing,
try to
but-
canonize Daredevil, I'm worried they'll try to canonize Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which means that Ghost Rider will be real in the MCU again and he'll be stupid and lame.
So they already did it though. Hawkeye and the new Spider-Man. Daredevil's in them.
No,
No,
Daredevil isn't in it.
So he's talking what
I'm
AP's
worried
talking
that they're
about
going to
Agents of
canonize
S.H.I.E.L.D., not
the
the
other
Netflix
series,
stuff.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which they've totally ignored so far. That's all I'm saying.
I have no idea about that.
It was a very monster of the week type show.
Yes.
You know, it was like it was Buffy in MCU basically. So
My
in
problem with
Marvel.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that every season they were like, man, we finally got rid of those Nazis, huh? Hydra dead forever. And we made sure this time. Season 4. Hydra's back, baby. All right, we're going to defeat them once and for all. Season 5. Hydra's back, baby. Nazis are dead again. Season 6. Hydra's back. Like
See,
every
I'd
fucking
be
season,
okay with that.
they could be in space in another universe, and there would still be like, hey guys, what's up? Nazis are relevant again. I'm like, come on, man.
I would be okay with that, Arthur, if every season begins with like, you can cut off one head. Like,
Yeah, that's what they do. That's literally what they do. Nazis are not
that's fine.
disco. It can't keep coming back. That's all I'm saying.
So the other film I watched this week before my vacation ended was Dune. I wanted to see it before I left cinemas because it sounded like a film that would be good in cinemas. I really enjoyed it. I don't know whether my enjoyment from it came from the fact that I've read the books and I could sort of interpret a lot more of what was going on. Like my wife didn't want to see it because she didn't like the 1984 movie. And I enjoyed the film a lot. And I was thinking, like, should I take her back to see it, or at least like watch it with her on stream before the second one comes out? But I'm undecided still as to whether my enjoyment came from knowing the story or from it being an honestly good.
Okay. I can tell you right now that most of the movie was confusing to me, but then they did that really good thing where really good movies wrap it up perfectly in the end, and then it all like clicks. So for me, as someone who hasn't read the books, but knew a lot of like just like, you know, through osmosis about like what the Dune was and that sort of stuff. It was really confusing, and then the last arc of the movie, just like everything fell into place for me. So
okay, because I'm sitting there watching, going like, "Oh, this is a scene where they're going to do this." You know, I know this bit's going to come up now. Obviously, being familiar with it, but I really enjoyed it for that respect. I also finished Cowboy Bebop finally, which I never really watched the anime, so I don't have any context of that, but I did enjoy it, and I would like to see more of it if they made more.
They're not.
Yeah, I know there's been petitions about it, etc. But we'll see what happens there. Other than that, my wife and I have been watching The Witcher and Boba Fett, but that's all on hold now because the Australian Open is around the corner, and so there's all the lead-in tournaments. And my wife is just watching wall-to-wall tennis right now and has no interest in watching anything other than sport. So all those shows will have to get delayed until after the Australian Open. So yeah, I've spent the rest of my holidays playing Total War with Arthur. I've never played the Total War series before, and then AP has popped that cherry for me, and we've been playing a 2-player campaign.
It's Wood Elves Reichling, guys.
Yeah. Which has been a lot of fun. You know, I think we played like 3 or 4 days straight at one point, which was great for me. But also because I've had all my RPG groups have not met at all. Obviously, including this one. There's been everyone's had lives on. Oh, sorry, I did get our game of Pendragon in the last week or so, but all my 2 D&D games, my Star Wars game, all that sort of stuff has all been on hiatus. So I was planning today, and I was thinking, wow, we've been out for so long. I need to make this like a really big special game. But then it's like, but this session was originally planned to be like just a bridging session to wrap up some loose ends before all the action starts next session. I'm thinking like I should try and cram in some map-based combat. It's like, but it's going to feel forced and it's going to throw off the whole pacing. So if you guys are hoping for a big game today, no, it's going to be a lot of exposition. I think that today. But
see, I would have been hurt by not being invited to the Total War game, except for I went. I'd probably never be able to make a session of playing it.
Well, and it's only 2-player co-op.
Yeah, it's only 2.
Yeah. Oh man, if that game could do more than 2 players,
oh man, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. I'd have to like probably cancel other activities to be playing this game constantly with people. Although that being said, I was looking around. There are some rumors of a 40K Total War. So Creative Assembly, who makes Total War, has apparently hired a bunch of XGW employees who were model builders for the 40K and Horus Heresy lines. And Dan Abnett, who's one of 40K's most prolific writers, has indicated that after his current involvement in what's the one with the Imperial Guard running around the first-person game with the four like Left 4
Space
Dead.
Marines?
Oh no.
I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
the
about. I
Left
can't
4 Dead
remember it.
clone.
Okay,
But
yeah.
but of 40K.
Yeah, that he's working on a major game after that. So a lot of people have taken that to mean that he's working on a Total War Warhammer 40,000.
I don't know how that'll work out, but all right.
Oh, you know I'm going to play Ultramarines, right? They're going to be the base campaign for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean 100%.
Dark Tide, Warhammer 40K Dark Tide.
Yeah,
It's
Dark
a
Tide.
Left 4 Dead clone in the 40K
Yeah, Warhammer
universe.
40K Dark Side RP. That's what I heard.
Dark Tide.
Dark Side RP. That's what I
Ignore
heard.
that you made a reference to Dark Side RP.
Hey man, I saw that people are healing enough that they're starting to make fun of Arcadum now. The original RP master. Listen to him.
All right, so I think that's it for me. So if you want to clip it,
It's already done.
okay, all right. So previously on Rogue Trader, The Strings of Fate, the fleet of Pierre Cowles returns to footfall for the first time in over a year. The group learns the Rogue Trader Janko Scourge has claimed the wealth of the Heathen Stars and has marooned Charlebel Armelin on a world in that region. An invitation is received to meet with the Witches of Footfall once more, who provide the group with the pattern in exchange for answers from Pierre and Androchiron. Pierre meets with the Mechanicum forces of Alta Templum Callistus X-17, hoping to reach an accord. And the Cowles fleet splits up and heads back into the Expanse and reap the wealth of their various... So head back to reap the wealth of their various settlements. Thought for the day: perseverance and silence are the highest virtues. So I had to go back and watch like the last half an hour of the last show to rip we're up to. But I understand that the Hand of Calixis was definitely heading to Outpost 31 in order to investigate why that outpost was had gone silent, and that Dominic Armelin and her ship had been sent to Solitude Station to see if they can convince the priest to remain on that settlement. That sit with everyone else's recollection.
Yes.
Oh, listen, I got tons of notes here. Adrian has to close the paradox loop, save Charlebel Melon. But yeah, what you said is in that list.
So, and I think there's Parrington and the Gilded Throne. Is that ship staying with the Hand?
They were going a third direction, right? We split up and weren't they going home for some reason?
They're helping what's his name?
Scourge.
Transport goods, because he's not really liked in the Imperium.
Yeah, that's right.
We're acting as their fence.
Yeah.
Okay,
And money
no worries.
launderer, apparently.
I don't remember what the agreed amount. It was the percentage, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the percentage equals. It's like they're used up for the next couple months, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, cool. I can go back and work that part out. So it's not going to be material for today's session.
No.
So okay, so out of your four systems, one ship's going to Solitude, one ship's going to Outpost 31, correct?
Yes. We were on a 31. The
No worries.
thing planet.
Yes. So before we do that, would anybody like to call any particular scenes just to reacclimatize the audience to their character at all? Or I mean, for the people on YouTube, it's been literally minutes since they finished watching the last episode. No? We're all
I
good?
can't think of anything now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So the ship emerges from the warp after a relatively normal, unproblematic transport. Actually, you know what? I should probably roll to see anything weird going on. It's been a while. Let me get my book up. Oh, I feel so.
This is where we get derailed and we do the combat that James didn't want to do.
This is where we fight demonic warp terrors.
The only scene for Androchiron is just him with the IV again, wandering around.
Him with an IV or him with IV?
Why not both? You know,
Okay.
he's he doesn't have a job, right? Like,
Okay.
See,
he's not employed by
Drinking
the
an
ship to be
IV
an
held
officer.
by IV.
He's a
She's-
spare part, so he just wanders around.
No, see, Ivy is setting him up with a one of the little cherub servitors to like carry his IV around for him.
All right. So
I'm just
let's
hanging
have
off of a
40.
flying skull one.
Yeah.
All right. So you can choose visitations. One or more of the crew find themselves visited by warp shades of lost friends and family. These lost souls might offer helpful advice and comfort or have darker motives. Or warp storm. A terrible warp storm strikes the vessel and may cause damage or throw it off course. Only the skills of the ship's navigator will decide the outcome.
Yeah, I want to stick with the just the visitations.
Okay.
The
So-
difference of losing your mind and losing your life. There's a
Yeah.
small difference there.
So I'm going to say that it's not the senior crew that get these visitations. It's not always everyone sees it, but there is a general sort of. It comes back through Nokul Coral, your Master of Whispers, and through Spitzoni Sargon, your bosun. That there's grumblings in the lower decks as people have been seeing. Effectively like the ghosts of people that they have lost or in some cases think they've lost. So it might be a case they haven't heard from someone for a long time and the ghost of that person appears confirming that they have actually died. And all the visitations indicate that the ship is heading into peril, that many lives will be lost in the coming months, and that as the shaft of your ship, that the people on the lower decks are the most likely to be sacrificed. Almost like these shades are calling for a mutinous uprising without actually saying so.
Well, I appreciate the restraint that they have. You know.
By not actually calling for a mutant
Yeah, I
uprising.
mean, look, you have to walk a fine line while you're gathering an uprising.
Yeah, you don't just say, let's kill all the nobles. You say, wouldn't it be great if somebody said, let's kill the nobles? I'd never say that, but it would be great if someone had the strength to kind of say that.
I mean, you start by saying, let's kill all the lawyers, and you work from there.
I love the idea that they try and start this uprising, but then halfway through they're just like, yeah, but they're not that bad. It's like, And if we did it, we would have to change the way we live. Yeah, that's a good point. I like the idea of change, but I don't want to commit to change, you know? So like, yeah.
The other thing is that having a mutinous uprising while the ship's currently in the warp is not a great idea, because even if you succeed, you can't do much then. So anybody want to do anything in response to these actions you're hearing about?
I think that there would be some sort of sermon, maybe, perhaps.
I was going to say, just send some priests down there. Or
I
down.
understand.
I mean, but
We're
yeah, we have the
playing
living
Frostpunk.
Saint.
We start with captain's words, do a little night sermon.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, James, it's been a while since I played this, but I thought we had done the Order of the Cleansing Flame, and Dawn was sort of like against her teachings, so she doesn't do the same thing that she used to do for gospel preaching.
That's correct.
So I guess now she would be like, hey, go on, sorry.
I mean, there is the generic, let's call it the generic gospel, and there is the variation specific to each individual order. So you can always default back to literally rather than interpreting the Bible, just reading the Bible is still, it's still religion, so to speak. So if you wanted to still sermonize, you could still do that by just going back to the more generic level of teaching.
I think Dawn would maybe use this as a starting point to find out how she needs to do her preaching.
Okay.
because she's always like anything she does. I mean, I'm just going to interpret this as like anything that she does is sort of like guided to a degree by, the hand of the God Emperor. So it's like, as long as she stays true to her own beliefs in a way, she can still preach that. So maybe she spends this time during the uprising to try and find what it is that she actually wants to push as like, the intentions
All right.
or the way
Give
that she
me
wants
give
to
me a scrutiny roll at +20.
okay.
It's not an uprising; it's just a general discontent. But
What if we gave you more rum rations? Well, I mean,
I was thinking that. It's like,
according to, I don't know about in America, but according to Australian law, a riot is 4 or more people acting in a concerted, disorderly manner. So
does a horse count as a person? Because it sounds like something that Australian law might consist of. So scrutiny 0
+20.
modifiers.
Plus 20.
+20. Yeah. 5.1.
Hey, okay.
Dang.
So you get as you sort of move among the crew, you get a read for the general feeling. So first off, your presence as a saint inspires a lot of people to feel that, wow, this is, we are part of something major because, one of the Emperor's own living saints is here among us. But at the same time, saints don't go to places where there isn't conflict. They don't go on peaceful trading missions or the like. Your very presence implies that this ship is going into danger, and a lot of these people signed up to be on a rogue trader vessel. We're here to ship boxes from point A to point B and get rich doing so.
We have never done that once.
Pretty sure we still got all those las rifles somewhere in here. Right?
We have half.
5,000.
The other half, which we gave away.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the overriding sort of emotion is, I guess, trepidation or even fear among the crew that while it's they think they can face anything with a living saint in front of them, they also know they're going to have to face everything because danger is coming this way.
Okay. I think then the because the before Dawn also had this idea that humans grow better when they put themselves in danger, rather than like, because that was the big rub she had against Nero, was that he never allowed himself to be put into a position where he was never in control, right? Like, so if anyone has any mixed feelings about walking into danger like that, she would basically just say, look, that's how you become closer to the God Emperor, is by doing his will, by putting yourself into harm's way to grow as a child of the God Emperor, I guess, right? Like that's essentially what she would be preaching.
Yeah, she'd certainly know that there is a sect within the Inquisition and within the Church known as the Isvanians, who believe that the Imperium can't grow unless it faces adversity. So in a time of only peace, they'll actually put match to tinder in order to create more conflict, because without conflict there can be no growth.
Yeah, when you said that, my brain went to the dating app straight away. So I'm sorry,
That's right.
But,
The Empire can't grow without swiping right.
Exactly. So I mean, okay, well that sort of matches up with how Dawn sees things as well. So yeah. Okay. Adversity is a great term. She would probably use that term as well, because that sounds very gospel-y, I guess. So
yeah. So look, this whole conversation, this has had no impact upon actual crew morale from a mechanical point of view. I'm just giving you the general vibe, the zeitgeist of the crew below the decks. That there is a level of trepidation, that this expectation that this ship flies into harm's way.
Okay.
All right.
If I ever have a powwow with the captain, I would probably mention this, in case he was unaware. You know, because we're trying to be buddy now, if I remember correctly. There was like we're trying to be like, you know, now that we're on the same playing field, we can kind of sort of look at each other at the same height level a little bit.
Your colleagues now, is that right? No longer master and servant. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, now that they can have like a more honest relationship, you know, she would be more than willing to sort of sit him down and be like, you need to, you know.
I mean, it's honestly, you could leave at any time you want, because I can't. I technically now can't tell you what to do.
Yeah. Especially now, you know, she can fly through the warp herself. You can't even say, like, you're on my ship, you can't go anywhere, can you?
Oh, that's right. I can layer myself through space now, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I'm losing my power.
Jesus, one of the worst fucking scenes in cinematic history.
Shit. Okay. So you go ahead.
I think Pierre's just surprised at this point you're still here. Just figured you get bored at some point and leave.
He's got a betting pool for.
I don't know. You seem to be doing a good job of aligning with my my direction, and
it's weird. Pierre just keeps finding demons and killing them. It's so weird.
The trick is I don't even try to find them; they find me.
Also,
I don't remotely think that's true.
Also, Captain, I have this this innate problem that I need to solve, where I need to surround myself with individuals who can make me a better person. So I hope to find that here in your crew. That is the main reason why I'm staying.
But you're a saint. I mean, in technicality, everybody here is scum compared to you. Not me, of course, but.
So there is a lot of things that you're not privy to as to the stuff, the inspirations that I've seen from the God Emperor, especially on my path to becoming more devoted. I had an epiphany and I'm following it through. Needless to say, companionship is the thing that I need to grow in the most. And I mean, if you say that I shouldn't find it here, I mean, I'm still gonna try and find it where I can, and the most logical place is with the relationships that I've already built here. But, you know, I mean, like, if you're seeking validation, I don't know, I think you might be a good companion. Is that enough validation? Do you want more? Or I'm a little unnecessary about how much I'm supposed to, you know, ponder to your ego a little bit here.
You don't need to stroke my ego. I could do that myself just fine. As for companionship, I'm flattered that you think I'd be a good friend. I haven't been able to gauge yet how far this living saint thing has gone to your head or not. Obviously,
I'm sorry. That I'm not sure about that statement, because it's not like a switch I can turn off.
No, I know.
No.
I'm saying as a fact of from experience, people tend to get big heads when they have big titles to them. As you can see with pretty much almost every rogue trader we've met and Inquisitor.
But not me, of course.
I was assuming that was mostly coming from their rearing more than their title, but
both.
Aren't rogue traders born into it more than anything?
Yes.
See, I also come from a noble lineage as well, in case you were wondering, and they threw me into the church the moment they could. So I'm not entirely sure we have the same problem. If you're saying, though, that, you know, perhaps over time I might become more destitute to the feelings of the common man, perhaps. That is why I need to ground myself with companions.
That sounds fair to me.
Anyway, I've forgotten the reason why I came here in the first place, to be honest with you.
Oh. Well.
By the way, where do you keep finding quail eggs? I'm confused about that.
I don't know. I'm not the one that finds them. Someone that's logistics thing.
The ship's purser finds them and he buys in bulk.
To be honest, I don't even know.
Climbs through the rafters of the ship, finding like little eggs.
Standing orders from Nero. We're never
To be honest, I don't
rescinded.
even know if they're actual eggs. I have a slight feeling that they're fake.
I'm pretty sure we don't have an aviary on board. Though the ship is quite vast, so I have not explored all of it.
Well, I can't say that because you probably could if you wanted. Most people don't want to go to lower decks.
Is that where you keep the less desirable common folk?
I feel like there's just flashbacks of Nero going down there, turning out the holds.
Correction, not. Usually some of the mutated, slightly people go or live down there.
Ah, yes.
Nero would occasionally do about maybe.
I mean,
every
we sent
quarter or
people down
so.
there as punishment.
We do.
They never came back.
Nero will also go down there occasionally and take some prisoners and purge some that.
Didn't we send the petty officer who started the card games down there as well?
I don't know what you did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I told him he had to do that job, and if he did it well, he would be off the shit list for a short amount of time. To
I don't know if he's still
never
alive.
ever rise above his station to bother the captain again. There's a reasonable amount of promotion one is entitled to.
That's this.
How hard would it be for a living saint to actually get a good game of poker? Like, it would be next to impossible, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
basically, right?
I mean, it's about as
being
hard
like-
as the captain of the ship, probably.
You have to play online now under a pseudonym. That's it. You can't play face to face.
I show up with, like, you know, my hair in a ponytail and sunglasses on, and no one can tell it's me, and I'm just like, yeah.
I
You have
could
to make a
tell it was
Smurf
you.
account.
There's like a slight glow, and my like halo is like always there, but no one can tell it's me, you know, like. Or when my tail is, my wings pop out of my back.
That's a terrible tell.
Yeah.
Could you imagine every time you lied, wings just pop out? Like, it'd be super obvious.
Yes.
You're basically
Every
Pinocchio.
time you've got a good hand, there's like a choir of angels in the distance.
And just immediate fold. Yeah.
God Emperor himself comes down to bless my hand of cards every time I get a good one.
I feel like he has better things to do than that one skill.
Okay, anyway, the ship emerges from the warp. Adrian, the first thing you get while you're flying out of the warp is the ship's onboard augers pick up an abnormally high amount of solar radiation in the system, to the point that, like, you know, normally you'd open the void shutter so you can see out, but, you know, preparations should be made to ensure that they're open in such a way that prevents the most radiation being, you know, sort of exposed to the bridge.
Mm.
So when you put on our sunscreens, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, or,
basically.
you know, like effectively, like put you get like some slips of that film that you put on the windows, like
Yeah. And there's just one bubble just right in the center. It's just like, motherfucker.
yeah, -10 on piloting checks. It's the bubble.
Everyone's armor is coated with alfoil now. Like, is this like?
If you're piloting a spaceship looking out the front of it, you've got a couple problems.
I imagine it's like those tanks that have like this, like the tiny little
Tiny
hole
little
for like
slit.
the eyes, and that's
Yeah.
it.
And it's like mirrors that are just bouncing off of each other. And
You know, originally Apollo wasn't going to have viewing ports, except the astronauts rioted.
Mhm.
We're going to space. We want to see it. Like,
So the once everything is prepped and the void shutters are brought up, so the system has a very angry looking red dwarf, like, you know, you can see solar flares even at this distance arcing away from this sun, and there is only a single planet in the system, a large world which appears to be mostly frozen over. And according to Doris, in orbit of that planet is a space station. Plus, you also pick up then beneath the space, like the space station sits geosynchronous to the planet, and beneath it on the planet is a settlement, which is your halting outpost 31.
Setting course for the outpost, Lord Commodore. It seems they're possible that the radiation from the sun has, well, either killed everyone or scrambled their communications.
Very well.
Shall we try and... Oh, sorry, go ahead, sir.
I'll say hopefully it's not the hopefully it's the latter, not the prior. But
shall we try and raise them on the Vox?
Absolutely. Vox Master, do it.
Yes. All right. Like they bring up you hit the Vox screens that it comes up, and there's like a long time of like the ringtone. I know it's not a ringtone, but it's like
I can
trying to
smell it coming off of.
I could feel my internet not working.
But then you get a connection, and it's just a static image, but there's a voice on the other end. Hello, yes, this is Outpost 31. Who am I speaking with?
This is Lord Captain Pierre Cowles.
My lord, this is Vox Operator Dex. Have you come to help? I'll tell the others. And then you hear, hand over the microphone, voice that calls out, "He's here to help. It's the Lord Captain."
Indeed. Is there a clearing that we can come down in a shuttle?
I'll send you coordinates for the shuttle pad.
Excellent. I'll be there shortly.
So that's like, yes, we're here to help. Take this object and do nothing for the next 3 weeks.
So you fly past this space station as you come in. It's clearly human construction, though it's definitely not Imperial design. It predates Imperial technology. With that being said, it's also in like a large state of disrepair, but also disassembly. So like whole sections of it have been sort of like removed and have been pulled to one side to be disassembled by like a shuttle fleet or orbital work. Although there's clearly no work taking place right now. Who's going down in the lighter or in the Yep. So Adrian's flying. So everyone's going down. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So the world itself is, as I said, it's a frozen wasteland. And when I say frozen, so it doesn't even have oceans. It's just like the landmass. Any sort of moisture in the atmosphere, it's cold enough that it's just frozen into snow and fall. It wouldn't snow normally because there's not enough evaporation to create that sort of weather system. But just when it gets cold enough, whatever moisture is there just freezes over. The settlement itself is actually a decent size. It's out of all the settlements you own, it's probably the largest one with probably around 20 to 25,000 people. So it's a small walled city basically with a projected shield array, like a void shield array over the top of it. According to the ship sensors, although the planet's atmosphere is breathable, it's low pressure, so it'd be like breathing like on the top of a mountain, for example. You would feel probably a bit lightheaded, but you could survive. Your body would adapt to it over time, but it'd be like being like in the Himalayas for a person who normally lives at sea level. It's also obviously quite cold at the moment, and when you're actually in the atmosphere, the solar radiation is creating pretty much auroras anywhere you fly. So you just see these colourful light shows going on in the sky above. And as you're approaching the city, you can actually see that the radiation is causing like a stuttering effect across the void shield. So normally the void shield would be invisible, but it's like a shimmering effect where the radiation is sort of is testing at its capabilities. Otherwise, the place appears to be in good repair. It's lit up. There are people in the streets. Things are happening. Industry is taking place. The whole shuttle fleet appears to be landed or grounded at the moment at the sort of small spaceport, but a bay, like a landing dock, has been cleared that you can come down. In fact, it's probably even got like there's a specifically like a landing platform just for the rogue trader of the Cowles line as such, so it can't be used for other things. It has like your family crest painted in the center of the platform. And they've done what they can to sort of pull together like whatever they had passing for an honor guard waiting when the ship comes down.
All right, James. Just know that while we're here, I'm staying in warp vision the whole time, and I'm controlled, fettered, mind scanning casually until you tell me otherwise that something interesting pops up.
Okay. So mind scanning normally has like a single target, so you're just going from person to person.
So that's Mind Probe. Mind Scan allows you to check. It's the improved version of Mind Probe that allows you to check everybody in an area. Just check them out, sniff their butts, figure out what's up.
It's the first dot of Auspex, right?
All right. So waiting for you at the bottom of the landing ramp when you come down is a man. I'm going to say he looks like a more clothed version of Stellan Skarsgård from Dune as Baron Harkonnen, you know, so like corpulent, with pasty skin, bald head, but wearing like robes of office, you know, the sort of things you would expect a planetary governor to wear, although not with undue pomp. You know, not like he's sort of overdoing it. Just, you know, that these are the roads of his station. They're in line with what you would expect. He's quite tall as well, like 6'2", which I know is short compared to some people in this group, but we'll move on from that. And then beside him is a woman. You know, the original Superman 2 with the Kryptonians that escaped from the Phantom Zone, like Lord Zod and that, like the woman from that group. So like short, dark hair, dark clothing, but with like librarian's reading glasses on. But she still looks like she's worked out as well. Like she's not a physical waif. And her clothing is more like a black version of like a scientist's tunic and trousers, basically.
Oh, it's like the evil scientist.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're right there after just getting a crack out of the neck.
Yeah, it's crunchy. It's not great.
Yep.
Hey, you could say that was a bit of a crunchy roll.
No.
The man approaches as you come down the ramp. Lord Cowles, I'm Maxillan Morn, the chief administrator of this facility. It's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. I'm so sorry for what happened with your mother. We heard some years back, but I haven't had a chance to speak with you directly. Allow me to offer the condolences of myself and this entire settlement.
Thank you.
He hands you a very large card with 1 million signatures on it.
We didn't receive forward. Well, obviously we've had issues with our communications. We didn't know you were coming. Otherwise we would have organised more. But is this an inspection or have you come to assist with our issues?
A bit of both. As I figured there was something going on, so I haven't been in contact with you all, or you haven't been in contact with us at the war.
Yes,
I'm probing him, James.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look. So he is being honest. He's not like there's no critical issues here. Effectively, the solar storm has been causing issues for them. Particularly, it's been taxing the void shields, which has taken most of the colony's power in order to maintain the shield so that the population don't get irradiated or frozen. They're hoping that, you know, it will go away in time, but they've had to sort of, you know, ration power throughout the facility as such, so have rolling blackouts in order to maintain the void shield. Which meant that the industry of this place has stopped. They have not been able to send up their regular missions to the station above. They've just been focused on subsistence and making sure they have sufficient food and drinking water to continue living until whatever this phenomenon is presumably goes away.
Definitely a planet we could sell on solar energy for sure. Nothing? No? I barely got it from Spoon. All right, just keep going. I'll just sit quietly, I guess, with my hands folded.
Allow me to introduce Dr. Patience Calamere, our head researcher here at Outpost 31. So she sort of walks forward and does like a small bow. Lord Captain, it's a pleasure to meet you. I assume you'll want to review our research notes and see what we've gathered from the STC station above.
Absolutely.
He's like, yes, Doctor. All in good time. The Lord Captain has just arrived. Let's please come with me. I'll take you to your facilities on planet.
Very well.
So effectively, you're taken down to like a small vehicle which drives you through the town. He points out, this is where we do food processing. This is where, it gives you the basic tour before you arrive at what is effectively a small mansion that's been built with your family in mind. So it's otherwise unoccupied, and they've clearly brought in some people to act as servants while you're in residence that will probably have other jobs when you're not, when there's no member of the Cowles family here. It's like next door to the residence which is used by the chief administrator, which is a much lesser building, but it's more. His is more like a well-served condominium.
Sounds good.
Right. So he said, would you prefer me to organise a dinner? Would you like to get straight into going through the situation here? I need to take your lead here, Lord Captain, as I am not sure what the next steps are.
I think I'll go ahead and start investigating the situation here. I'm on a bit of a tight schedule. It's been quite some time since I checked up on all the other colonies as well. So,
well, he explains what I just explained to Arthur, basically saying about how since the solar storm started, it's knocked out their communications there, and their power reserves have been struggling because they have had to maintain the shield.
Right.
Yeah. So he also explains that the planet has an elliptical orbit, so it has 6 months where it's frozen, 6 months where it's hot. But in both cases, within human livable tolerances, just beneath the shield, they keep it to a more temperate environment rather than right now where it's like in the low teens Fahrenheit / low negative Celsius, and then it gets up to like the 120 Fahrenheit in the summer months and such. Livable but uncomfortable. It's more the low air pressure means that it's any sort of prolonged work outside the shield is difficult because the human body isn't made for that level of oxygen.
Right. I guess so. The main thing is they need some sort of power generation or of some sort, right?
Yes. If I was to say in game terms, they certainly require one power infrastructure.
You've done a very good job of environmental storytelling in that regard.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that being said, they will be productive if the solar storm went away as well.
Fortunately, I can't control nature. So.
I could just destroy the sun if you want.
Yeah, let's just launch a nuke at the sun.
Cast it into the fire. Wait, you think launching a nuke at a sun would do anything? The nuke would, before it got anywhere close to the sun, it would just burn up.
Haven't you watched Sunshine?
No. But I have to tell you, if the plan is to launch a nuke at a sun, it's a dumb fucking plan.
It's to launch every nuke at the sun.
That's still not going to do jack shit.
Because the sun is going out, and it's to make it start up again.
That's like if if you had a big fire and it was going out and you decided to launch firecrackers at that fire, like Roman candles, you're like, oh, this'll work. There's no way the lack of fuel is what the problem is. Small minor explosions will restart the process, I guess. Okay. It's a lot of sci-fi. We've been over this. There's a lot of sci-fi. You just have to hand wave the physics of it to make it fun. I mean, we're in the Warhammer 40K universe. We open screaming demon holes in space. So.
Yeah. So I guess I will start moving that along as to look like I'm trying to take care of the place before I send it off to its doom.
Yeah, before we drop a giant "come eat me" sign here.
Pretty much.
Speaking of, it would probably be a good idea for Androchiron to identify a target where we could put the refrigerated unit so that it could affect the most beings without, right? We have to let the Gene Stealer Lord inside out, right? Patron, whatever he's called.
Patriarch.
The Patriarch, yeah.
Yeah, so Androchiron is just, sensing large collections of minds, especially ones that seem like they're impoverished, weak, incapable of defending themselves. Like good vampire targets.
Yeah, we're going full send on this one, huh?
I mean, look, what are we gonna do? Put him next to the governor? I mean, he's corpulent, right? Like, this is not going to be a good servant. We're looking for a good place to start a base. So that's what Androchiron is doing, is looking for, with his mind's eye, excellent targets. It's super depressing for him since he is fundamentally opposed to this mission, but that doesn't matter.
So at this point, Pondo, this guy's handing you all manner of like profit and loss sheets and asset statements, basically showing you that this is a highly profitable colony when circumstances are, when they don't have power issues and a solar storm. And he's got projections where if the solar storm ends by the end of the year and these power things can be taken out, he can become your most profitable colony very quickly. I
love it.
Yeah. There's lots of graphs that just go up,
I'm guessing by this man's gustos that these like predictions are accurate, right?
Give me a scrutiny roll at +10. Actually, I would like a scrutiny roll at +10 from everybody that's present, and from anyone that's got the skill, a commerce test at +10.
I have both.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have
or do I do
commerce.
both?
You can roll both. You can. Everyone can roll scrutiny. Anybody that's got commerce can roll commerce.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Oh, I think I'm going to re-roll that.
What did I roll? A 9?
Pretty good.
Do I get the +10 from now warrant?
For commerce?
Yes.
No, because it's not. This is just your understanding of his thing, not a actual trade going on.
Okay.
What was the bonus for
There we go.
scrutiny?
61.
+10 for
Or
both.
6.1. So six successes.
Okay.
Man,
Cool.
I'm killing scrutiny today.
So it looks like everybody got the scrutiny. Did you roll scrutiny, Pondo?
I roll commerce.
You got to
wanna
roll
roll
scrutiny as well. They're two separate rolls for two separate
okay.
things.
All right. That was +10 of that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Don't smash it. So everybody's scrutiny can tell that like this guy is legitimately excited about, as Spoon put it in chat, all the stonks. That he honestly believes, and his numbers reflect. And this is with your commerce test, Pondo. Yeah, like literally, this is a legitimate listing based upon everything he's put forward. He's done his homework. But with the scrutiny roll, you will pick up that the doctor seen nearby has a much more dour opinion of things. Like, she doesn't look excited about any of this. and probably like, occasionally, he'll say something and she'll like try to suppress shaking her head.
Oh, yeah. James.
Like
Mind
she knows something he doesn't.
probe.
Yes. Okay.
So this guy's slapping a whiteboard and he's like, so I'm calling this the neural functioning transfer, okay? So
No. As soon as you said something that started with an N, I knew where the fuck you were going, man.
Okay. So she hasn't told him this yet.
Okay.
But the primary purpose of this installation is a research facility.
Mm-hmm.
It can also do things like mine the facilities on this planet, but primarily what it does is it recovers archaeotech from the STC station in orbit. Effectively, she knows they have pretty much tapped that out. Within 12 months, there will be nothing left on that station of any value. And so she, like her whole objective is to like meet with the captain and negotiate her next assignment, because this place is this well's about to run dry.
All right. I lean next to the Lord Captain and fill him in on that quietly.
Using Trader camp?
Yeah, using my polyglot.
Couldn't you just like telepath voices into
I
me?
could set up a permanent telepathic connection between the four of us, but it seems like it would be weird since a lot of you seem like maybe you'd be a little iffy on that.
Yeah, it's the permanent part that is.
I don't think you'd be able to get into my mind. Actually,
Yeah, it has
I think
to be a
I'm
willing
immune to that
target.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I just lean into Pierre and I let him know, and Rogue Trader can't quietly. At a point where everybody else is distracted, doing something else. Yes, Adrian, blockchain.
Okay, so
Someone got my
based
check.
on that knowledge, does it look like the profits have to do with the research up at the station?
So the profits are so high because this facility is in exploit mode. It's like it is gather
Not sustainable
and consume.
Growth. I mean, this is the problem.
Exactly.
We need to turn to green archaeotech, okay?
With unlimited resources, that's fine. And if it dropped back to only sustainable growth, then it'd be an average settlement. Not really bad, not really good, just average.
So so this guy's in mode of I'm going to milk this thing as much as I can, real quick.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't understand how much is left, though, right? That's what we're getting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it's for a large. She hasn't told him.
Okay, I feel less bad about murdering all these people.
Wow. Let's hang on a second. Let's take these two with us because they seem to be useful.
No, the one guy has bad luck, if I recall.
His feature is he is unlucky. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll leave him here.
It's a question of, do you want nobody or do you want someone who's unlucky, right? Like, there may come a time where we need an administrator for something.
We have an administrator.
What if there's a Destiny's Child concert? Who's gonna run the show? That's all I'm saying. You never know when Destiny's Child might. Beyonce is obviously an imperial saint.
I mean, Britney Spears is free now, so she can do that.
So to give you a mechanical term, Arthur, a colony that's in exploit mode draws down 1d10 of each resource every 3 months.
Ooh.
It has 16 archaeotech resource left.
Okay, so it can.
It could potentially tap itself out in 2 turns if it's lucky.
Yeah, in 6 months.
6 months, yeah. All right. I mean, I just relay all that to the Lord Captain, and I try not to shoot dirty looks at the researcher because she's, I understand that she's doing her job, but she's also not informing her boss of critical information.
It's that gif of that black kid like holding the cup when he's like, looking away real quick.
Androchiron likes a good chain of command and everything in its place working correctly, so this is a cog turning the other direction.
My feeling is that it's a matter of the guy doesn't want to listen.
Perhaps,
but she also wants her job, so I don't know.
I feel like she'd be a worthy addition to some other location, like that giant cache of elf tech.
That or the Regina 4 wastes.
Sure. I'm just saying.
If only we had that facility with all the robots in it still. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
The planet we blew
Regina 4 before it got blown up. But so
Yeah. She's also quite excited. The other thing on her mind is she's quite excited to show the captain or anybody who's interested in all the cool stuff she's found on the station.
Doctor, would you like to show me all the cool stuff you found on the station? I'm
Definitely.
curious about that.
James, Androchiron is gonna prime the pump for that situation, right?
Yeah.
So if she's like, man, the first thing I want to show is a flotsam junctioner, I'm gonna be like, Doctor, I've always been an admirer of flotsam junctioners. Do you happen to have any here?
But before you say that, the thing she's most excited to show is that she has recovered a standard template.
Oh shit!
Oh,
All
okay.
right, yeah, so
I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry.
okay, so the Imperium is made on 3D printing technology, except we lost the
We
cards
lost the
we put into
blueprints.
3D printers, and she's got a card.
So for everyone's benefit, especially Dave. So during the early days of Imperium, before there was warp travel, any sort of space exploration required generational ships. So you couldn't put an electrical engineer on a ship and expect that when you get to a colony in 4 generations' time, you'll have an electrical engineer. So they developed these systems called standard template constructors that are basically 3D printers. So when you get to a planet and you need a combine harvester, you put the combine harvester blueprint in, shove whatever local materials you can find into the input of it, and it will generate you a combine harvester. And thanks, Arthur. So the two rarest things are the machines themselves that do the building, which are, there's probably 4 of them left in the Imperium. But then also the blueprints. The blueprints are like very, very valuable because the thing is that a lot of them have been lost. And so people have taken partial blueprints and they filled in the blanks of what they think it requires. But the technology pre the Dark Age of technology was a lot better. So they knew how to build better machines and such. And so a complete blueprint is worth a shitload to the Mechanicum because it means they can then fill in the gaps of knowledge on how to actually build this thing and build it better, even if they don't have the standard template constructor.
That sounds so much like someone who designed this world is also making video games. They're like, we need a reason why every house is the same prefab, and I'm like, wow.
Why do all the tanks look exactly alike?
Exactly. Yeah.
all right, so this is how it goes, James. I start the conversation by saying, Doctor, I've always been an admirer of STC technology. It's fascinating that you've been looking over at that space station, and well, we may never recover the knowledge that we once knew. Isn't that right, Lord Captain?
Oh, absolutely. It's quite a shame.
Hit me with a well, actually. Hit me with it.
She's like, au contraire, sir. Or this station was an STC coordination point of the old humanity, and in fact, one of my most recent discoveries is we recovered an actual template.
Androchiron pretends
You
to be
know what a
surprised.
toaster is, Lord Captain, because now we can build them perfectly.
Wow, that's incredible.
So see,
Please
now
tell
we
me
have
more.
both the 2-slot and the 4-slot version.
What kind of
I don't know
monster
what a
uses
waffle
a
is, but it
two-slot?
can cook
I mean,
it.
She slides a data slate across the table to you. I have named this the Calamare pattern thermal wand.
Is it a flamethrower or is it like a warming
Glow
massage
stick.
device?
It's a hair straightener.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry that I took your joke, James. I'm really sorry.
What is the
man.
practical application of this?
She doesn't know. It's a whenever people from Old Earth was old terrors, they wanted a handheld wand that would get hot enough, so not hot enough to boil water or inflict injury.
All right. We'll have to send it to the engineers
Also,
to
hold on.
weaponize it.
You can definitely burn yourself on a Heresy.
Yes.
It's probably a torture device or something along those lines.
Yeah, of course, significant injury. Sorry. I don't know. I haven't had long hair for over 20 years, so.
So then I say to her, what other discoveries have you made? But in the process, I'm slowly fading out of this conversation so that she'll say whatever she wants to the Lord Captain.
We also unearthed numerous new IV flavors for some reason. You just like back in the conversation.
Kiwi mango.
What's
So
I have no idea what those things are.
The majority of the value they pulled out of the station is information about. So presumably, mankind at some point in the past colonized the Expanse, and this station was like a coordination station where data could be stored and shared with different colonies. It was like a communications point using whatever communication existed back then, which don't exist now. And so the idea would be that this is almost like a treasure map of where there could be other techno caches around the Expanse that might be archaeotech caches.
Cowles' line, they just can't stop sticking their dick in archaeotech. Jesus.
Yeah. All stuff that would be quite interesting in Mechanicum. But also would help identify which planets might have human or post-human settlements on there as well. And she's also extracted like machinery, that stuff that could not be built or rebuilt, but could be repurposed elsewhere. So there's this whole warehouse full of stuff that has been extracted, catalogued, and prepared for transportation. But like right now, she's got like 4 guards standing 24/7 on this standard template, which is effectively like a data wafer that just tells the machine how to produce hair straighteners.
All right.
I hate that it's just a hair straightener.
We're gonna have to heist it,
in this
guys.
universe.
We're gonna have to steal it from ourselves.
Is that like
it's yours. The idea is like she's expecting that you'll take this with you, all the stuff with you.
We're just gonna have to steal it from ourselves.
Is there like the tech that goes into like the blueprint stuff? Is that like is it the blueprint like of the hair straightener itself that's the rarity, or is it the actual functioning tech that the blueprint is made on?
So it's both. First off, there could be other devices that could be improved by the knowledge in this data wafer. Even if anything else which utilizes similar technologies, whether it's electromagnets or
like capacitors or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
Those things could be improved through the knowledge of this. Now, that being said, mankind may not be able to create some of the parts required to build this right now, but the knowledge of it is significant. And they could ship this data wafer off to one of the few planets that actually has a template constructor and start producing these things en masse if there was some strategic value to the Imperium of doing so.
Yes,
I swear this thing somehow has the ability to improve power swords or power weapons.
Stop producing any of the Rhino APCs that we've been making and start producing these hair straighteners.
This is a legitimate question.
Calumet patent thermal wands.
Has there ever been an isekai made in the 40K universe?
No, nothing official. I'm sure if you scraped the bowels of the internet, you would find something.
Because you're kind of writing it for me right now.
Look.
Well, what James has said numerous times.
It's a meme. Harry Potter fans would love to go to Hogwarts. Game of Thrones fans would love to live in Westeros. 40K fans don't want to live in the Imperium.
But some of them do.
But if you did, and you brought all of this cool technology from your brain, it's like, yeah, have you guys heard of a lighter?
Yeah, and that's when they set fire to you.
Yeah. So
for the same reason, going back in time in the Middle Ages with your knowledge of one technology wouldn't get you a lot of favors either.
I love that meme comic. I was just like, so yeah, the wondrous electricity. It's like, oh, couldn't you make it? No.
So what James has said numerous times and has passed over until I looked at my notes right now is that the Calamir pattern thermal rods are named after her.
Yes.
There's a guy out there who created Land Raiders, and we named them after him, not the guy who came up with the... It was like, oh man, I just found this pattern. I better name it after myself.
Look, that's why Randland exists.
My God.
It is canon that Salvador Land was the creator of the Land Raider pattern. So it was the
You want to call them the Calamir Raiders? Doesn't sound as good, does it?
General Toothpaste, what do you have there? Well, let me tell you. So you're telling me this blueprint doesn't have the name hair straightener? Like, in the top?
No, because it's not required because it's presumed whoever had the data wave would know what they were holding.
The Imperium had foresight, apparently.
It's not the Imperium. It's not the Imperium. This is pre-Imperium man.
Humanity. Yeah, just humanity.
It didn't come with the disc protector that had
the case has been lost at times, but the CD is great.
She's certain this either came from the ancient tribes of America or maybe one of the Pacific nations.
Ancient tribes of America.
The ancient tribes of hair straightener. No idea where it was.
You know, there actually is a country in the Wheel of Time universe called America, which is just their remembering of how America was.
All hail the great and cheesy burger.
There was ancient battles between the giants Murica and Moscow. Yeah, you like that one? It's great because it was written at the beginning of at the end of the Cold War was the beginning of the series, and it rapidly became irrelevant. All right. I'm still looking for a nice place to stick our patriarch so that he can get his suck on.
I mean,
look, that's what vampires call it. That's canonical.
Yeah. With 25,000 people here, there's probably at least half that number has nothing to do with the actual operation of this as a research facility, and just is to do with the subsistence of this as a community. You know, there are people that are that are cleaners, that are mechanics, etc. And so the population here is well cared for. With that being said, effectively the reason they're unproductive right now is because the Solar Storm has dropped their order to 0. So they're not in open revolt. They just don't have the ability to live life the way they would normally live without the Solar Storm.
Now, I want to identify the janitors. Those are people that can move anywhere and could credibly meet with anyone.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're going to stick the patriarch right there.
Yeah.
Right
in fact, they're
Janitor
probably there's probably a small organized crime contingent on this planet that centers around the janitors. It usually does.
Wow.
Look, they have keys to everything, man.
I've milked this meme before on this show.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm in the profession of waste management.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no meme between sanitation. Sanitation in the United States is still strongly controlled by criminal elements.
Yeah.
I know. Listen, in Delaware, we have recycling bins where you put recyclables in, and it's literally just a fucking landfill. They literally just take it.
Hey, Lawson's agreed with in chat. Lawson is a kingpin of crime.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I know Lawson is a janitor. He's a head janitor. That's why I'm doing this, is because I want Lawson's people to rise to the top of the Gene Stealer family. First gen, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be boots on the ground.
Lawson's given more than one person a pair of concrete shoes, that's for sure.
He made them an offer they shouldn't have refused.
All I can think about is making a Jordan's joke, but I'm not going to.
No, we're good.
Lord Captain, shall I begin the coordination of ferrying all of these goods to the hand?
Absolutely.
Very well, sir.
The coordination is come land, pick the stuff up on the pad, take off again.
Yep.
Yeah.
The entirety is just a briefcase with the wafer in it, surrounded by a crate that just says old stuff.
So the value of what is currently here pulled aside for you increases your profit factor by 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
such as the value of the STC.
Excellent.
Okay, so that includes the value of the STC.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the new profit factor?
49. In that case, because it was at 45.
And so that's like assuming that we're selling this thing to the Mechanicum, or
Well, it's assuming you're monetizing its value in some way.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
We're putting on a circus show. You can land on the ship and come see the STC Calamir pattern thermal rods. Marvel at them. And on your way out, don't forget to stop at the Nero Memorial Gift Shop
For your I Love the Lord Commodore t-shirts and mugs.
Oh my god. The Eldar will hijack our STC. I feel like the Eldar probably were done with hair straighteners before humans had come out of monkeys.
That's amazing.
I mean, so this is a joke from the game. One of the games that has contributed to going into this chronicle, like from the past, with my friends about, finding an STC for a hairdryer. I just took it to a different direction. So
nice, yeah. Well, I'm like finding an STC for something completely mundane, but to them, it's this huge treasure that.
Oh yeah, no. People will worship this data wafer.
I mean, isn't it the same thing with like anything SLDF and
basically
BattleTech?
The clans are better
To the point
way.
where there's a mission in the BattleTech video game where you have to go destroy a stapler factory.
What? What?
James actually posted a picture of it before.
My God.
Was it labeled as like a medical tool facility where they use the staplers for like binding wounds, or like how did they justify?
They need that SLDF extreme stapling technology. Finish all of your paperwork today, Gunny.
It is staplers that manage not to jam.
Yeah, look.
50%
It's,
of the time.
you can't beat SLDF for staples per second. I'm sorry.
Wow.
So.
Not even the clans can get to that number. They just.
Right.
You see, the clans, they did the thing where they cut the corners off of their paperwork. Get rid of staples.
Fucking Battlestar Galactica.
It was so good, though.
It was.
It was more than just the paper. All of their like alcohol bottles were also 8-sided. So it was fucking wild, man.
So I think it's probably a good point to take a break, though.
All right,
that's
fine. We'll take a break. When we get back in the second half, we're going to talk more about hair curlers. Get ready for it. It's going to be big.
Straighteners. Hey.
Straighteners, yeah.
Don't,
please.
you can't. This thing is not made to curl hair. Okay, that's a whole different pattern that nobody's discovered yet.
My bad.